there was something went viral on Twitter, and it was like ultimate turn on. It's when she's racist or when she likes Hitler or something like that. Mm-hmm. And everyone was saying that like it's a cool thing if a hot chick likes Hitler. Now, no one literally means I want to gas Jews or whatever by that. What it really means is she's controversial and not uptight and edgy and red-pilled and funny. It's really what it means. If someone says they're racist on Twitter and it's a chick, what she really means is I'm funny and I'm not uptight. And you're seeing a lot more of that, of edgy humor and Twitter. Like Google's gone. You can't look up anything on Google, but you look up Twitter. If the example I always use, there was a stabbing in Ireland, and every time I looked on Google, it was Irish national involved in knife attack. I'm like, what happened? You go to Twitter. He's Syrian. He's been here for a year. Here's his face. Here's the 8-year-old he stabbed. Here's his face, and this is where they lived, and this is what happened. So the news is getting out there. Like when I was a teenager and I heard the Black Wall Street myth about how we burned down Black Wall Street, I didn't have anything to counter that. So I went, oh, turns out we sucked and we burnt down Black Wall Street.
Not really what happened.
Not even close. And now, you know, a 16-year-old gets told that and they can go look it up and see, oh no, it was a race riot based on a sexual assault and a town burned down. So I don't know. I think young people today, and don't they say that 18 to 25s are like 25% conservative, and that hasn't happened since the 80s?
Well, the sex shift is like night and day. So women are overwhelmingly moving more towards progressivism, and young men are moving overwhelmingly towards conservatism.
Oh yeah, I heard that's because of social media, because the algorithm gives you what you want, so you end up more you.
Yeah, well, there's some truth to that. It's also just because
men are smarter.
Yeah, well, and they look around and they're pretty fucking mad. Like they're pretty pissed off. Like, look, this kind of sucks. Why are all these fucking women whores? Why am I in high school at 15 and the captain of the cheerleading squad at 18 has an OnlyFans? That's fucked up.
Yeah.
What a way to ruin your dream. Right? What a way to ruin your perception of reality. Yeah. So yeah, they move over to the right, and now, it's not like it was even 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago. Shows like yours Uncensored, all these alternative media platforms, they are actually beginning to finally gain a little bit of steam. When
I was young, we had to exchange fanzines via the mail if you wanted any sort of, alternative anything. And that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it was very little. There was 5, answer me, sewer cunt, fucked. There was 5 zines that you would exchange, and they came out once a month. Now it's piles of, you couldn't watch all the content on censored.tv to that one network. You'd be watching 6 hours a day. You wouldn't have a life.
Right.
And there's Cozy.
And is it getting bigger or smaller? Getting bigger, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing is, the reason it is, YouTube and Twitch and all these places, they don't want politics on YouTube. No fucking way. They want kittens, and they want people with cute nails, and they're doing their cute nails and glitter, and all the bullshit in the world except politics, because politics costs them ad revenue, and nothing else does. Politics controversial, it costs ad revenue. These big companies will pull their ads out of any of these Google algorithms. That'll cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. So they don't give a shit if a creator makes them $1 million to $4 million a year. They don't give a shit. They'll throw them out in a second if it has the potential to cost them one of these big ad revenue players. So they don't want any politics on YouTube. They don't want any politics on any major platform. They're trying to move all that shit off platform. So guys who spearheaded that, who started getting these alternative media sites together ahead of time, they're going to really benefit from that in the next 5-10 years, because it's just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah. So, and it was very hard to make our site. We had to employ hackers and it just went down last week in Canada. I hear British people saying they can't process their credit card payments. So it's a daily hassle to make this thing exist, but it's existing. And I don't know, when I talk to young people, I get inspired. The Zoomers are funnier than me. They are smarter than I was at that age. I feel pretty optimistic about the future.
Yeah, except 1 in 4 though. Yeah,
Or whatever they are.
like, let's take it with a little bit of a grain of salt,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it'll be a male lesbian with a woman who identifies as a dude.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you're a heterosexual couple, by the way, just in case you don't know.
Yeah, in case you didn't know.
Like Gigi Gorgeous, you know her?
Oh,
He has a dick.
I know.
And his wife has a. So he fucks her with his penis. You're heterosexual. Welcome.
Yeah, you just didn't know that.
All aboard.
Yeah, you just didn't know that even if you wear a dress.
You went so gay.
Yeah, then you went back to being straight.
You met us at the base.
Talk about horseshoe theory.
Yeah.
Now
Hi.
it goes with the homos too.
Hi, fellow hetero. Fuck
yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's so funny to me though. I mean, that is the rate though. It's like 1 in 4 of these Zoomers
But
identifying.
it's fashion. That's like saying 1 in 4 is goth.
It's women.
Yeah?
It's women. When you look at that 1 in 4 number, you start breaking it down by sex. Guess how much? It's like 70% women.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because we know white people are horrible and you can't say you're black.
Yeah.
So what do? You say you're trans and now you're out of the white group.
Right.
And you're
in
not
that other
responsible
group.
for slavery or anything. You're an independent, cool person.
Now you're in the other category.
You're absolved of all your sins.
That's right. That's right. Yes, you're good. You have now entered into the trans-coomer identity. You're fine. Right this way. What can we get for you?
How do these poor bastards get laid? It just or not
They don't.
laid.
They don't. Haven't you seen the latest polls on men who are virgins? They're calling it the incel crisis because they're not getting laid.
They're jerking off.
Yeah.
To OnlyFans.
Yeah, and they're not getting married young either. So like this is a really bad time to be a young man.
Yeah.
It's a really bad time to be a young man. And I feel like what's happening is the millennials are becoming like the boomers who are just like, give me that shit and fuck them. Fuck that generation coming up.
Yeah.
It's a really bad way to go.
Well, I'm of two minds about it. I get a lot of shit for saying this, but on the one hand, yes, you're right. It is impossible to buy a house. Yes, you are told you suck shit every day. Yes, you know, you're saddled with debt for a useless degree. All of that is true. But at the same time, I'm like, suck it up. Like, try being English in Quebec in your teens. It is not possible to find a job. You can be a bike messenger in the winter. Mm-hmm. You can plant trees in northern Quebec, but you're a second-class citizen there. Your children cannot go to an English school. So we're controlling how your children think. And we figured it out.
I think when it comes to resource, I have noticed just in my lifetime that it seemed like every single time I would upgrade, I'd get a better job and it would lead to more money or this or that. That every time I looked at the material pricing around me, right, I could never outpace it. I could just never quite get in front of that, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, if you're making $20 an hour, man, if I can get to that $30 an hour,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'd really get ahead of this. And by the time you'd reach that goal, you'd be like, I'm not getting ahead of this though.
Yeah.
This is a fucking mess.
Well, that's why you had to do those night shifts.
Yeah, well, that's why I did whatever I needed to do to get ahead. You know what I mean?
I wish these young people realized too that if you want to make money, have babies. It puts a fire under your ass.
yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're fucking
And you
on
got
top of it.
skills and everything else because by necessity. But there's another reason for that too. The other reason is that there's a social status with having a family that other men have a lot of respect for. And you're a really safe bet for a person who's hiring if you have a family because you probably won't leave. You need your income.
Oh, right.
You
yeah.
need your income. And so you're going to show up every day so that you can support your wife and your kids. You become a much safer bet. You can't just pack up and move the next day. And you have a higher social status. So much more likely to hire you if you have a family because they know that you're going to show up because you need the money. And you're probably going to do a good job and try to work your way up because that's your option.
And you're going to get in shit with your wife if you get fired.
Right, you're going to
She's
get
not gonna
fucked
be
up.
impressed.
You're a much safer bet. The turnover rate for married men, much lower than turnover rate for single guys. Single guys can be like, well, I want to be a railroad worker now. Goodbye. You know what I mean? I'm going to go work on an oil rig. See you later, office job.
I met a pretty girl and she's going back to Ohio.
Right,
so
I'm
going
gone.
with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's also the social status end of it too. Society, generally speaking, not everybody, but generally speaking, society treats men with a family a little bit better than men who don't have a family.
It's just a better vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what I try
You're
to push
more trustworthy.
with my show, and that's what I wrote a book about, Death of Cool. I was like, I get it, party years, awesome. But you started stealing liquor from your parents when you were 14. You're 24 now. That's 10 years of decadence. Time to close that chapter and start your real life. And then once you get married and have kids, you're like, I wasn't even a person.
I was a fucking degenerate scumbag.
I didn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm born
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
I'm starting an actual life now.
But imagine what it used to be like for people when they were getting married, 18, 19, 20, and that was common. You know what I mean? They didn't really have time for the degen years.
Yeah, it was real, it was fun, it wasn't real fun.
Yeah. It was just real.
It was retarded.
It's just real.
All right, how are you doing for money these days?
We get by. We're not, to say that the various algorithms on like YouTube and the places where we mostly do our show, The Crucible, they don't like us at all. And so, yeah, that's tough, but we're able to go on shows like this and advertise, and get out to new audiences and then bring our audience over to that show. So that's pretty helpful. But I mean, as far as cash flow goes, like we're definitely not rolling in it, you know what I mean? But we're doing okay. And okay is okay enough for right now.
Right. You're not doing as well as Destiny.
No, we're not raking in millions of dollars a year, no. Playing video games and letting people fuck our wives,
It's funny that we spent so much of the show talking about meritocracy, and then you have a dork like him making millions being a boob.
Yeah, being a complete degenerate coomer fuck. Well, the thing is like, and what they do, if they don't like you, if that like whole Destiny crew, because he has minions and everything else or other creators, they'll mass flag your channel off the internet, mass report you, they'll mass report you to payment providers, they'll dox you, they'll do whatever they need to do to stay on top. They don't give a shit.
It's Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it's totally Revenge of the fucking Nerds. And the algorithm, if you just type in Destiny's hashtag Destiny, inside of the YouTube algorithm, because you're reacting to a video, it instantly picks the video up.
Oh,
right?
really?
Instantly picks it up, because they're pushing this fucking Coomer.
People actually work at Google and YouTube. They're fat losers who resent any kind of, alpha anything. And they want revenge. And they're trans and they're hideous and they're in there controlling the American conversation. And so much of them, and this is true of a lot of the left, is just spite. I've always said that's the gas that powers their engine, is this.
Well, they fucking hate me.
overwhelming
I mean,
spite.
I've tangled with Destiny. I've probably debated this guy 7-8 times. Crushed him many, many times because he's a fucking idiot. You ever want to know how to beat Destiny in a debate, for all of you out there who are aspiring debaters, just ask him to repeat what he just said.
Really?
He can't do it. Because he's on Vyvanse and he has meth mouth. If you ask him to just repeat back what he just got done doing, he can't. He can't even repeat his last argument.
Because his head is zipping with Adderall.
Yeah, his mouth is moving, right? Because his jaw isn't hinged. It looks like the, have you ever, remember the old Godzilla movies? Uh-huh. You know how the lip sync was never synced up correctly? So it'd be like, look, it's Godzilla.
That's what he
right?
does.
That's what he does, except his jaw just hinges. So, so he's like, well, actually, due to the economic status of the... And you're like, dude, all you got to do is say, can you repeat your argument back so I make sure I get it correct? And he'll make a completely new argument because he can't remember what he just said 5 minutes ago because of the fucking Vyvanse that he's on.
That whole generation is tweaked out on fucking speed.
But they're all that way.
Watching porn, fucking making millions, being retarded. But at the same time, I talk to a lot of them and they really have their heads screwed on right. So I don't know how I feel about Zoomers.